Alright, currently in a back alley here in Kyoto, and I want to show you how I might shoot some still life photos. Okay, so first and foremost, you see this little box here and these lines here, but there's a lot of clutter here and clutter here. So essentially what I'll try to do is, you see these diagonal lines here, you try to connect these with the top left corner, and so what I might do is frame closer here. Now you can see this top left corner is framed here. Take a picture. And this is actually kind of cool. So you see my little shadow here. I might actually step more to the left. So right now you can see my head is being overlapped here. If I take a step to the left, now you see a little bit of white space here. So I take another photo. Click. That's pretty nice. And also you see my arm here stacked on top of my head. If I move my arm to the right, now you can start seeing the shadow of my arm separating, and then click, click, click. So that's pretty cool. Or let's say if I want to go back into the shadows. Always the secret about composition is that you never know what composition is going to be best until you keep working the scene. So even taking a step back, and if I wanted to create a nice dynamic composition, essentially I'm trying to create a nice diagonal line here connecting the edges of the frame. So essentially I'm tilting my camera, and when I'm shooting, look at the top right of the frame, look in the bottom left of the frame, and you're trying to create the best possible frame possible. So you can see this little line down here. I'm aligning it with this corner here. Cool. And then in the top right corner, I want this line to come in the top right corner. So I'll tilt down my camera, and I'm lifting my camera, and when I'm shooting, I'm actually using the LCD screen to better frame the composition in my scene. Also, other creative things you might consider too is that, so you could see this little yellow orange box here. There's some space above here and some space around it. Maybe if you want a more creative composition, you could get closer and just not include that in the frame. And once again, you want to create diagonals out of the edges. So you see this diagonal here, connect it with the top left corner here. Take another picture. Click. And you could actually see that when I'm composing the scene, I'm framing the top left corner up here, and also this line in the bottom left corner, and also this line in the top right corner. So essentially the game of this is trying to connect all the diagonals, all of the diagonal lines you see. And to me, this is not only a fun visual exercise, but it's kind of a fun little like Zen meditation, where this is one thing I like about shooting urban landscapes, is that, yeah, you could essentially take your time, not feel so rushed, and also realize that it's important to work the scene. So if you see an interesting scene, don't just take 1 or 2 photos and run away, but always think about, yeah, how can I keep recomposing it? Maybe even a simple shot, shooting it head on. And also realize that in photography, perspective is very important. So even crouching down, now do you see how that totally changed the perspective? And let's say if I wanted to get closer to get this diagonal line up here. So when I'm shooting, I'm getting closer, and you can see even right now, too much white here. If I don't want any white, I'm moving the camera closer, and then that little black box here is distracting, so I move this closer, moving it up, and all while I'm framing it in the bottom right corner, I'm trying to get this diagonal here. So frame, focus, focus, focus. click. And also, if you're in scenes like this and you want more dramatic shadows or backgrounds, my recommendation is do like -1 exposure compensation to create more dramatic black shadows. And also, if you want to practice your composition, probably one of the practical tips I'll give you is don't crop, because the more you crop, the less opportunity you'll have to actually create more innovative, unique compositions. So you could even see here, right? This nice diagonal composition with the black triangle going to the right, bottom right corner. And the left side of the frame here, I'm trying not to have that distracting little black thing. So framing. The cool thing what I'm actually doing is I'm shooting this on the Lumix LX100 and I'm shooting 1080p video. And actually while you're working the scene, you could actually take still photos, which is actually pretty cool, something new I discovered. Even lighting coming in the shadows. Oh no. Hi, okay.
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
Watashi wa
Chinese?
America.
American. 何してんの? What you do?
私の身長はCalifornia です。はい。
Okay. I see.
Yeah, and 私は写真家です。
写真家でこれ写してんの?
Yeah, これ。かわいい。
かわいいのこれが。
はい。
何してんやろと思ったの。
like
これがいいの。
Yeah. はい。So
これオープンできるよ。
Yeah, これ。
へえ、あ、そういうなんだっての。
そういうなんです。OK、お気に。OK、ありがとうございます。
何してるのかと思ったわ。
はい。
マイホーム。
Oh no, oh OK, yeah, はい。お気に。So what I've written on this piece of paper, which actually is super useful, is what is your name? お名前は何ですか? Now the other piece of paper, where are you from, or what is your hometown, is どこ出身ですか? Which is what is your hometown, or like where are you from? And then the answer, what I could say is 私の出身地は California です. So I am from, you know, whatever. Oops, drop this. Yeah, so this is actually, that was actually a pretty good exercise that, you know, the old lady came out and she's like, what are you doing? This is my home. And rather than, and, you know, I'm Korean American, actually, I don't know how to speak Japanese. So I just kind of hanging out and saying, oh, you know, I'm just taking a photo of this thing here, and then I'm using my pidgin Japanese to explain what I'm trying to do. And so I'm talking with her, I'm interacting with her, and smiling with her. And I even asked her to stand behind me and look at my LCD screen. I'm like, oh, this is the nice thing. And she's like, oh, this is my house, to make sure that I'm not some sort of weird cop or something like that. So realize that as a photographer, a street photographer, whatever, you're not an evil person, you're not doing anything wrong. You're essentially just making photos. So to give a plug for my new Udemy course, Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Photography, to Mastering Photography, which is essentially more of a basic beginner's course, but I think it's awesome because embracing this beginner's mind for us to try out new things in photography, to feel the freshness in photography we once felt when we started off photography, it's really good for our creativity. And there's so many cool activities, there's so many cool assignments, ways for you to upload and share your photos and get feedback on photos. So description, the link below, you're not going to want to miss that. It's awesome. So let's make some more photos. Peace out.